The great hall of Azum falls silent. Princess Zala stands alone before her father's throne, silver chains pulling at her feet. The evidence lies scattered across the marble floor. Stolen gold, forged letters, a servant's bloody testimony. Her sister Makeda weeps into embroidered silk, the perfect picture of betrayed innocence. Emperor Dawit's voice is heavy with sorrow. My daughter, these crimes bear your seal. Your own hand condemns you. Zala's voice trembles. Father, I saw on our ancestors. But Makeda cuts her off, tears streaming down her face. Please, sister, no more lies. The servants saw you. The gold was found in your chambers. But one man has not spoken. King Malik of Mali sits motionless in the honored guest's seat, his face shadowed by the black tangle mask wrapped around his head. A raven perches on his shoulder, watching, waiting. His advisors lean close, whispering that he should leave, that this scandal taints any marriage alliance. But Malik raises one hand for silence. When he speaks, his voice is like thunder rolling across the desert. I will hear how these crimes occurred, every detail, from the beginning. The emperor hesitates. My lord, you need not trouble yourself with... But Malik's eyes don't waver. Every detail. To understand why a king will risk everything for an accused thief, we must go back 3 moons, to the day a princess met a stranger and mistook a lion for a lamb. News arrives in Azum on wings of a rumor. A king from Mali seeks a bride, young, powerful, wealthy beyond measure. Princess Makeda hears these whispers in the palace corridors, and her heart quickens with ambition. She stands in her chambers, studying her reflection in an ornate bronze mirror. Mali, she says to her handmaiden, their gold reserves could ransom empires. Tell me everything about this king. The handmaiden bores. They say he united the river kingdoms before his 25th year, my lady. Brutal to the enemies, generous to subjects. Scholars call him the builder because... Makeda interrupts. His age? 26 summers, perhaps 27. Makeda smiles at her reflection, elegant, refined, the very portrait of an emperor's daughter. She has been groomed for this her entire life. But in the gardens below, her sister Zala has no interest in visiting kings. While Makeda prepares to dazzle a king, Princess Zala sits barefoot by the fountain, feeding bread to the doves. Her white shawl has slipped off one shoulder. Her gold tikka headpiece, a gift she was supposed to wear to the welcome feast, lies forgotten in the grass beside her. She is breathtakingly beautiful and completely unaware of it. She sighs, speaking to the doves. Another old king seeking a treaty bride. They'll parade us like prized horses, and Makeda will smile and nod while A voice behind her, deep and amused, interrupts. You paint a vivid picture of royal courtship. Zala spins around. A man stands at the garden entrance, tall, powerfully built, wearing the simple black robes of a traveler. A raven perches on his shoulder. His face is striking. Strong features, intelligent eyes, a close-cropped beard. Young, far too young to be. Zala stammers, flustered. I didn't. You are not supposed to. This is the princess's garden. The stranger's lips quirk in amusement. My apologies. I was told the delegation from Mali will be received in the throne room, but I wanted to see the legendary gardens of Azum first. The travelers were right. They are beautiful. His eyes haven't left her face. Zala relaxes slightly, assuming he's a guide or advisor. Oh, You are with the king's entourage. I'm sorry, I thought you were... Never mind. Yes, these gardens are old. My mother planted them. He nods slowly. Your mother had exquisite taste. He pauses. You speak as though you won't attend the feast tonight. Zala sighs, gesturing for him to sit. I'll attend. Stand there like a decorated vase while my father and his ancient king discuss treaties. You know how it works. Elder daughters married off to secure borders. The stranger tilts his head. Ancient king? Zala nods. Well, he must be at least 50, maybe 60. They say he's conquered 12 kingdoms. That takes decades. He probably has a long grey beard and... She catches herself. I'm being unkind. I'm sure he's very accomplished. The stranger fights a smile. Perhaps he's younger than you imagine. Zala shakes her head. Impossible. Young men don't build empires. They throw spears and chase glory. The king has united river kingdoms, established trade routes, built libraries. My tutor says he even reads in multiple languages. He leans forward. And this impresses you? For the first time, Zala's eyes lit up. Of course, but it means he spent 30 years studying, fighting, building. No young man could. The raven calls suddenly. The stranger chuckles. Jabari agrees with you. He thinks I'm wiser than my years suggest. Zala laughs despite herself. You named your raven? That's... She stops. Wait, wiser than my years? You are not... A voice calls from the palace. Princess Zala, where is that girl? Zala jumps up, panicked. I have to go. They'll be furious I'm not dressed. It was nice to meet you, stranger. The man stands, his voice soft. The pleasure was entirely mine. I look forward to seeing you tonight at the feast. She runs back toward the palace, white shawl trailing behind her like wings. Malik watches until she disappears through the archway, then looks down at Jabari. He speaks quietly with absolute certainty. That one, not the elder, that one. The raven caws. Malik smiles. I know what the traditions say, old friend, but when have I ever chosen the expected path? That evening, the great hall blazes with 1,000 lamps. Emperor Dawit sits resplendent in crimson and gold, his daughters flanking him on either side. Princess Makeda is a vision, layers of silk, silver coin jewelry cascading down her chest, cold darkened eyes. She has rehearsed this moment 100 times. Princess Zala wears simple white, a single gold tikka headpiece. She keeps tugging at the fabric, uncomfortable with the formality. The doors open. The Malian delegation enters. Advisors in rich indigo robes, guards with ceremonial spears, and then the herald announces, voice booming. His Majesty, Malik Ibn Sundiata, King of Mali, protector of the river kingdoms. The man from the garden walks through the doors. Not a guard, not an advisor, the king himself. He wears black and gold now, elaborate robes that catch the lamplight, the royal tangle mask framing his face. Jabari rides his shoulder, and every eye in the room is drawn to him. He is magnificent, and he is looking directly at Zala. Zala whispers under her breath, "Oh no." Makeda leans close, hissing, "Sit up straight. Stop slouching." Malik approaches the throne, his movements deliberate. He bows, perfectly calibrated respect for an equal. Emperor Dawit speaks warmly. "King Malik, Azum welcomes you. My eldest daughter, Princess Makeda." Makeda stands gracefully, her smile rehearsed. The honor is ours, Your Majesty. We have heard tales of Mali's greatness. Malik nods politely. You are gracious, princess. His eyes slide past her. The empress continues. And my youngest, Princess Zala. Zala stands awkwardly, her cheeks burning. That is, welcome. Malik's voice warms. We have already met, Emperor. Your daughter was kind enough to show me the gardens earlier. She spoke very highly of your wife's botanical skills. The Emperor looks surprised. Did she? Zala rarely speaks of. Malik's eyes glint with amusement. She also shared fascinating theories about the age and wisdom of foreign kings. Zala wants the floor to swallow her. The feast unfolds with all the pageantry such occasions demand. Musicians play, dancers while, platters of injera and what's served on bronze plates. Makeda speaks eloquently of trade agreements and cultural exchange. She laughs at precisely the right moments. She is, by every measure, the perfect bride. Malik nods politely, asks thoughtful questions, and keeps glancing at the younger princess, who has barely touched her food. Makeda notices, her voice tightening. My sister is not usually so quiet, Your Majesty. She has many options about gardens and birds and unconventional topics. Malik turns to her, smiling slightly. I find unconventional topics infinitely more interesting than conventional ones. Later, Malik excuses himself for air. The terrace overlooks a zoom lights, 1,000 fires scattered across the plateau like fallen stars. He is not alone long. A voice comes from the shadows. I owe you an apology. Zala steps into the lamplight, still in white, the gold ticker catching the flames. Malik turns to face her. For what? Zala laughs despite herself. For calling you ancient and assuming you couldn't read. And for all of it, really. Malik's expression softens. I found it refreshing. People rarely speak to me honestly. Zala meets his eyes. Because you're terrifying. He steps closer. Am I terrifying to you now? She considers him. No, but you should be interested in my sister. She's the eldest. She's perfect for this. Treaties, diplomacy, all of it. She has been trained for it. Malik asks quietly. And what have you been trained for? Zala shrugs. Nothing useful. I read poetry, I sketch birds, I ask too many questions and forget to wear shoes. Malik steps even closer. The woman in the garden who spoke of choosing love over duty, is she still here, or did they dress her in silk and tell her to disappear? Zala looks up at him. She's wondering why a king who could have anyone is looking at her instead of her far more suitable sister. Malik's voice is certain. Perhaps this king learned long ago that what is suitable and what is right are really the same thing. A bit. The air between them crackles with tension. Zala whispers, You can't choose me. It goes against everything, tradition, protocol. Malik simply asks, Do you want me to choose you? Zala is torn. It doesn't matter what I want. Malik replies with quiet intensity. It's the only thing that matters. Inside the feast hall, Princess Makeda watches through the archway. She watches the way the king leans towards her sister, watches Zala's face tilt up like a flower finding sun, and something dark and hungry blooms in Makeda's chest. She whispers to herself, cold and certain, No, not her, not this time. 3 days later, the king petitions Emperor Dawit privately. He wishes to court Zala. The emperor is troubled. Tradition demands the eldest marry first. But Malik is no ordinary suitor. He is patient, persuasive. He speaks of building bridges between their kingdoms, of a union based on genuine partnership. The emperor agrees to consider it. Makeda hears the news from her handmaiden. For the first time in her carefully controlled life, rage cracks through her polished surface. She speaks to her handmaiden, her voice like ice. Bring me Ato, the steward who manages the treasury. Now! The plan is elegant, cruel, perfect. Makeda has Ato steal gold from the treasury, small amounts, over several days. She plants it in Zala's chambers, hidden in a carved chest Zala never uses. She forges letters in Zala's handwriting, suggesting the princess plan to flee with the lover, taking the kingdom's wealth. She arranges for servants to witness Zala meeting secretly with Ato in the gardens. And then, the final stroke, Makeda goes to her father, tearful. She speaks, voice breaking. Father, I've discovered something terrible. I don't want to believe it, but the evidence. The raid on Zala's chambers happens at dawn. Guards find the gold, the letters. The princess is dragged from her bed, confused and terrified. Ato is arrested. Under torture, the poor man confesses to a plot that never existed, that he and Zala planned to run away together. Zala denies everything, but who would believe her against such evidence? And so, we return to the Great Hall, to the accusation, to the evidence, to a father who cannot defend his daughter. The evidence is damning. Letters in Zala's hands, gold in her chamber, a servant's testimony. Makeda weeps beautifully. This is the moment she orchestrated. But she's forgotten something crucial. She's forgotten that Malik didn't build an empire by accepting surface truths. Malik stands, his voice cutting through the murmurs. Emperor Dawit, with respect, I will examine this evidence myself. The emperor hesitates. Your Majesty, you need not. Malik interrupts. I insist. He descends from the guest seat, Jabari fluttering to perch on a nearby column. Every eye follows him as he crouches beside the scattered evidence. He picks up one of the forged letters, studies it carefully. Then he speaks, addressing Zala. Princess Zala, when we spoke in the garden, you mentioned your mother planted those gardens. How long ago did she pass? Zala answers, confused by the question. 10 years, Your Majesty. Malik nods. And you tend to them in her memory? Every day. Malik holds the letter to the light. This letter speaks of fleeing before the rains come to the northern caves. He pauses. I have studied maps of this region extensively. There are no northern caves within a week's journey of Azum. The limestone formations lie to the south. Any native of this land will know that. Murmurs ripple through the court. Malik continues. Furthermore, this letter is dated 3 days ago, when the rains had already begun. Why would she write before the rains if they had already arrived? The emperor leans forward. Perhaps a mistake? Malik looks at Zara. From a woman who speaks poetically of weather patterns, who knows every bird in her gardens by name? I think not. Makeda's voice strains. Brother King, perhaps my sister was nervous, made errors. But Malik turns to her, cutting her off. Perhaps. Let us examine the gold. He moves to the scattered coins, picks up a handful. His fingers are steady. When he speaks again, his voice carries the weight of a man who has negotiated with merchants from Cairo to the Niger. He holds up a coin. These coins bear the mint mark of Azum's treasury, yes. But look, the edges are smooth, worn. These coins have been in circulation for years. A counselor interjects. So? Malik explains patiently. So, gold taken directly from a treasury vault will be nearly minted, sharp edges, and worn. These coins came from someone's personal collection, someone who has been spending them, trading them, for a very long time. He sets the coin down deliberately. Then he addresses Ato. who kneels in chains. And then we have Arthur's testimony. Tell me, steward, when you confessed to this plot, did you do it so freely or after several hours of persuasion? Silence. Malik speaks to the guards. Remove his shackles. Let him speak without fear. The emperor starts to object. Your Majesty, I don't... But Malik raises a hand. Please. The guards hesitate, then comply. Arthur collapses to his knees, sobbing. He speaks broken. Forgive me, princess. They told me if I confessed, you'll merely be exiled. But if I stayed silent, you would be executed. I thought I was saving you. I thought... Malik asks quietly. Who told you this, Arthur? Arthur barely whispers. The elder princesses had maiden. The court erupts. Makeda goes pale. She protests, voice rising. Lies! He's trying to save himself. But Malik speaks over her, louder. Where did you get the gold, Arthur? Princess Makeda gave it to me. She said it was for the temple offerings, that Princess Zala wanted to donate it anonymously. I was to hide it in her rooms until the ceremony. Malik presses. And the letters? Arthur confesses. She had me practice copying the princess's handwriting, saying it was for a surprise gift. I didn't know. Malik turns to the emperor. Your Majesty, I believe we have been spectators to an elaborate deception, one that speaks not to Princess Zala's guilt, but to another's desperation. All eyes turn to Makeda. Empress Dawit's voice shakes. Makeda, tell me this is not true. She shouts, defiant and desperate. She doesn't deserve him. I'm the eldest. I'm the one who has prepared my entire life for this. She doesn't even want to be queen. Malik responds, quiet and lethal. That may be, but I want her. Makeda's voice cracks. She is a nobody. She wanders barefoot, talks to birds, forgets her own name half the time. I'm elegant, educated, I know 7 languages. I can... Malik cuts her off. You can betray your own blood for a crown. I have seen that skill demonstrated very clearly. The emperor rises slowly. He looks at Makeda as if seeing a stranger. Malik turns to the emperor. Your Majesty, I believe we have been spectators to an elaborate deception, one that speaks not to Princess Zala's guilt, but to another's desperation. All eyes turn to Makeda. Empress Dawit's voice shakes. Makeda, tell me this is not true. She shouts, defiant and desperate. She doesn't deserve him. I'm the eldest. I'm the one who has prepared my entire life for this. She doesn't even want to be queen. Malik responds, quiet and lethal. That may be, but I want her. Makeda's voice cracks. She is a nobody. She wanders barefoot, talks to birds, forgets her own name half the time. I'm elegant, educated, I know 7 languages. I can... Malik cuts her off. You can betray your own blood for a crown. I have seen that skill demonstrated very clearly. The emperor rises slowly. He looks at Makeda as if seeing a stranger. He cracks like thunder. You will condemn your sister to death for jealousy? Makeda tries to explain, desperate. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I thought you would just send her away, make her unavailable. The king will turn to me and... But the emperor has had enough. Enough! His next words are measured, final. You will be confirmed to the monastery at Lake Tana for 10 years. In that time, you will reflect on what honor means, what sisterhood means. And if, at the end of that decade, you have learned these lessons, we will speak again. Makeda's face drains of color. Father! The Emperor's voice is final. You are no longer welcome in this court. Remove her. Guards step forward. Makeda's perfect composure finally shatters completely. She screams, claws at their armor, but they pull her away relentlessly. Her voice echoes down the halls long after she disappears from sight. The court sits in stunned silence. Later that evening, Zala stands in the gardens again, the same gardens where all this began. The white shawl drapes around her shoulders, the gold ticker catches starlight. Malik finds her there, Jabari on his shoulder. She speaks without turning, knowing he's there. You didn't have to do that. Investigate. Risk angering my father by questioning the trial. Malik answers simply, yes, I did. Zala turns to face him. Why? You barely know me. Malik steps closer. I know enough. I know you mourn your mother by tending flowers. I know you speak honestly even when it's unwise. I know you feel deeply and hide it poorly. He pauses. I know that when I imagine my future, you are in it. Zala's eyes fill with tears. I'm not what you need. I'm not elegant or diplomatic or... Malik interrupts gently. You are exactly what I need. My empire has enough diplomats, enough elegant courtiers. What it lacks is heart. Someone who sees people, not pawns. Someone who plants gardens instead of burning them. Zala whispers, your people would hate me. A foreign bride who doesn't know their customs. Malik takes her hand. My people love you, just as I. He stops. The word hangs unspoken between them. Zala breathes. Just as you? Malik holds her gaze. I told you once that choosing what is right and what is suitable are rarely the same. You, Zala, are both. You are the right choice and the one my heart demands. Zala admits her fear. I'm afraid. Malik smiles gently. So am I. Building something real always carries that risk, but I would rather be afraid with you than certain with anyone else. She looks at him, this king who crossed deserts to find her, who saw through the lies to defend her, who holds her hand like it's made of light. She whispers, then I choose you too. They kiss, soft and sure, while Jabari calls approvingly from the fountain's edge. 3 months later, Princess Zala of Azum becomes Queen of Mali. She brought with her no dowry of gold, only seeds from her mother's garden. She planted them in the palace courtyard and they grew wild and beautiful, spilling over walls like joy breaking free. The people loved her, not because she was perfect, but because she was real. And Malik, who had conquered 12 kingdoms, learned that the greatest victory is not won with swords, but with trust. The princess who refused her crown found she didn't need one. She was already wearing love. The end.